In the super competitive landscape of the Western Conference, the longer a playoff series goes, more unsung heroes will make their presence felt. With 7 to 8 teams having a legitimate shot at a title, the underachievers will hit the panic button, relying on the trade deadline to save themselves. Some of the biggest 2024 signings include CP3 to the Spurs, DeMar DeRozan to Sacramento, Paul George to the Sixers, Klay Thompson Dallas, and Donovan Mitchell remaining put in Cleveland. The big stars will always be the main topic of discussion, especially come playoff time, but many of the deciding outcomes could fall in the hands of role players, some even on a minimum deal, determining whether their teams are first round exits or conference finals bound with certain series and game on the line. Starting with Gary Trent Jr. of the Milwaukee Bucks, 2025 postseason could be the deciding factor whether Giannis wants out or remain with the franchise. After 2 straight unfortunate first round exits, their superstar getting hurt at the wrong time, Dame and Giannis played enough regular season games to know the routine. The only thing that matters, April, May, and June, the soon-to-be 26-year-old all buckets, the Malik Beasley replacement, already played with Dame 2.5 seasons in Portland, will be switching possessions for offense-defense with DeLon Wright on the other side of the ball at the 2. Trent Jr. most memorable for his dagger bomb, Game 1 win on the Lakers in the bubble, averaged over 15 points first round Sixer series back in 2022. If him and Dame gets burned on D, Doc Rivers will just go with Wright or Taurean Prince being bigger bodies, already having Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez. The length down low not an issue. Trent wanting upwards of $20 million a year with Toronto, settle for a vet minimum, will be motivated to play himself into a bag, shot 51% from deep on wide open attempts last season. Having Dame and Giannis, he'll get plenty of looks, can create his own shot a bit, unlike Beasley, won't be ending up in too many Shaq and the Fool memes, has a better transition game, makes it more deadly for Giannis on the open floor, understanding this coming year, his most important. Many already quick to dismiss the Bucks and even place the Knicks and Sixers above them, but when at full strength, they're the second best team in the conference and very capable beating Boston if both Giannis and Dame play at their best. Tyus Jones to Phoenix. One of the most composed floor generals in the game, looking for an 8-figure a year deal, settled for just 1 year 3.3. One of the bigger shockers this free agency, especially somebody his caliber, good enough for 4 year 70 range. The Suns being a first round exit, swept by Minnesota, their lack of pure point guard play, initiating the offense, Jones fixes many of those flaws, just bringing up the ball, absolutely worn down on Brad Beal and Booker, having 2 score first 2 guards, trying to play the point, led to clunky offense and sloppy turnovers, wore down by Minnesota. Those two had their biggest success alongside a pure point guard, Beal having John Wall in Washington for years. While Booker played alongside CP3, Tyus leading the league in assists to turnover ratio, 7.3 assists a game last season to only 1 turnover on a dysfunctional Wizards team. Being pass first, capable of knocking down threes, willing to give up the ball early, relieving stress off Booker and Beal. From playing with Jordan Poole and Kuzma to Booker and Durant, Jones fills many of Phoenix's missing flaws from last season, excellent on the pick and roll, unstoppable floaters, the best possible player Phoenix could have gotten on a minimum. Betting on himself, under offensive specialist Mike Budenholzer, there's no doubt if KD and Book plays at least 60 games, Phoenix more than capable, winning in the mid-50s. Although the defense won't be elite, as long as the turnovers cut down, Phoenix can go from 10th on offense to somewhere in the top 3 this coming year. 36-year-old Durant and prime Book can't be fully counted out. Naji Marshall to Dallas. The Derrick Jones Jr. replacement, a little bigger at 6'7", over 220, 3 years $27 million. With all eyes on Luka and Kyrie, Klay Thompson will get lots of attention too with the open threes, but Marshall himself shot a respectable 39% from deep last season, earned his money on the defensive end. Him and PJ Washington bring strength and physicality, guarding other small forwards, 7.1 points a game last season, under 19 minutes, doing so without a true point guard in New Orleans. Now having the chance to play with 2 premier offensive players, the open shots will be there. Marshall already knows what he needs to work on. It's just about repetition at this point. Alongside Quentin Grimes, the easy Tim Hardaway Jr. replacement. Dallas' success this coming season will depend on J. Kidd's ability to properly rotate his roster. Marshall, bringing the toughness, has the dog in him, especially if someone tries to mess with Luka. The one downside Dallas loses with Derrick Jones Jr., the athleticism, playing above the rim in transition, but Marshall, much more rounded offensively, being a better passer and more flexible with defensive versatility, capable of guarding forwards. For a title contender, Jones Jr. flash in highlights doesn't cut it against Boston compared to Marshall's substance and balance, which should make Dallas one step closer to a championship. DeAnthony Melton, Golden State, 11-point scorer for Philly last season, didn't see much time due to injury, but crucial to team success, plays pesky defense, hustles in transition, good athleticism at 6'2", doesn't need the ball in his hands but knows what to do with it when Steph's not on the floor. Also, not inclined to taking shots when his jumper's not falling. The quickness and energy will make Golden State look a little younger than last 2 seasons. While the burned out Klay Thompson been 1 foot out the door for months all of last season, Melton being a fresh face, credits the medical staff being outstanding, a better defender at this stage of his career than Klay. Despite being just 6'2", his hustle plays will give a sign of fresh air, but at the end of the day, the question remains, how many games will Steph play? Whenever the main guys don't have it, Melton's ability to get his own shots can win a bunch of close games, perhaps good enough for his team to avoid the play-in altogether. Caleb Martin to the Sixers. Matter of fact, Martin, Kelly Oubre, and Andre Drummond combined $5 million less than the atrocious Tobias Harris. Martin might not play his best in the regular season, a 10 points a game guy last year with Miami, but fearless, has the dog in him. When Embiid and PG gets cold, one of those role players capable of getting consecutive tough buckets in a 2-minute stretch, just like his incredible conference finals beating Boston 2023. From turning down 5 years $65 million, lost out on $30 million, but competes on both ends, able to hit threes when needed, put in the position to play with the most talent he's ever been part of. Guys like Paul George and Embiid tends to shrink under pressure, but him and Maxey being snipers in the clutch, Philly's season will highly depend on whether they'll make it out of the second round or not. If they do see a Game 7 versus a high quality opponent, likely New York or Milwaukee, Caleb's postseason experience and timely plays can literally help the Sixers make its first conference finals in 24 years with a couple daggers. Isaiah Hartenstein to the Thunder. Massive signing, 3 years $87. From being a possession away forcing Game 7 in the semis, the contagious energy and tap outs for second chance opportunities made him a vital part of the Knicks' success. OKC having one of the most talented core of young stars, the franchise player in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren's inability to grab boards going up against big fives, those flaws already when Hartenstein steps in, can bring 25 solid minutes a night, average 8 and 8 a season ago. Teams will continue having nightmares trying to attack down low with Chet anchoring the paint, giving OKC another reliable paint presence. His intangibles, being a skilled passer from the high post and finding shooters, adds another layer to OKC's success, also able to hit threes here and there. Not having to need the ball in his hands, can finish off in pick and roll plays, grab putbacks, and set hard screens, alongside defensive-minded Alex Caruso and Luke Dort being high-level perimeter defenders. OKC a dark horse title pick, many won't be surprised if they truly win it all. Which one of these low-key signings will end up benefiting their teams most come next postseason? Will any of these 6 teams get to the finals? Do they have enough to challenge Boston? 9 months till the 25 finals. Time will tell.